Welcome back, boys and girls. Not Gospel. Cliff Williams and Joel Jackson. We have had a crazy break. We've been working on some other interesting projects for a while. We're going to dive into. Also, here at Not Gospel, 2021 was kind of a year of finding ourselves, finding our voice. Honestly, we're going to turn 2022 into the year of excitement and joy and levity. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just got over strep not too long ago. You got over COVID, right?
COVID.
Not too long ago. A lot of people have reasons to be frustrated and aggravated. We're tired of being sick and tired, and we want 2022 to be about excitement and about joy and also about the Lord, because we're both believers. So the channel itself is going to be a little bit more overtly about our faith. If you're somebody that can't handle Christian stuff just for the sake of that it's Christians talking, then you will sorely be missed. We do apologize. But if you can hang with us and realize that there's something to be said that's creative and fun, despite your religious beliefs, then come on aboard. You're welcome on this train. You're welcome on this ship. This is Not Gospel. Well, today at Not Gospel, Joel, you watched the Lord of the Rings trailer.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings, the Amazon series. No, you did not time travel. We are not 20 years ago where we're talking about the Lord of the Rings trailer. This is the new series.
This is the new Amazon Prime series that I have so many hesitations about, but we'll get into it.
You seem so excited right now.
I'll explain why, man.
Oh, man. So Lord of the Rings, you've seen the trailer. I have not. This is going to be a reaction and analysis video. Lord of the Rings, I'm going to watch it for the first time. And we'll see how our thoughts line up. So here it is. The trailer released, what was this, a week ago?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to pull it up here and get started. I got my trusty headphone. David allowed me to borrow his headphones. We're going to get this going. This is the trailer for the Lord of the Rings Amazon series. I love the familiarity of the music, man. It's so good.
It's Howard Shore.
3 rings for the elven kings under the sky. 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone. 9 for mortal men doomed to die. 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne. In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
Okay. Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power. Yeah.
So,
well, ignorance may be bliss, Joel. I have no preconceived notions about this.
okay.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so just from the title reveal, we know what it's about. We
Yep.
know that it's going to be a series about the time when all of those rings were made, before the One Ring.
Yep.
My initial reaction is like total excitement because I know nothing about it.
Okay.
So
in 2018, I think it. So in 2017, I was making my movie, and I was towards the end of the initial filming. We'd finished most of the stuff, and I remember it very specifically. I went to go get this tag for. They were building a new bridge, and it was a toll bridge, and I had to go get the tag.
Yeah.
And I left the building, and I walked outside, and I searched on Facebook, and I saw an article that Amazon had just purchased the rights to the Lord of the Rings, which the Tolkien estate had held so tight.
And at that time, how did that make you feel in that moment? Were you like, oh yeah, we're going to see some new Lord of the Rings stuff? Or because this is post-Hobbit, right?
This is post The Hobbit.
So at that
This
time, were
is-
you like,
No,
excited
because
or
I
not?
hated Force Awakens and I was
Okay.
just about to walk into The Last Jedi. So let me explain why I think this is going to be an absolute train wreck. Whenever the reason, so Jeff Bezos made a comment that
yeah,
Game of Thrones, Amazon needs our Game of Thrones.
that's what he said?
Yes. Hold on. So when Star Wars came out, which was the first kind of thing, Star Wars was not imitating Star Trek. It was its own kind of thing.
It was.
Years later. It had a bajillion copies of Star Wars, and they were all terrible.
And it's like, we need our own Star
We
Wars.
need our own Star Wars. Anytime you do that, it is awful. Every time. There's no exception.
There are a lot of people that say that Star Wars, that George Lucas yoinked a lot of his creative ideas from Dune, from that series.
Yeah, but he didn't say I need another Dune.
That's, it's
Dune and Star Wars to me it's nothing alike.
they're so dissimilar in my opinion. But
Yeah.
dude, the fans of Dune, who are both fans of, there are massive Dune was huge. There are massive fans of Dune, but then there are also fans of Dune who are like, you cannot be fans of Dune and Star Wars.
Dune is incredibly boring to me, whereas Star Wars is fun.
Did you see the new one?
Yes.
And it was
It took, what did it take, like 2 hours to even get to like something interesting?
it feels Dune. This Dune feels like, if they, in my opinion, it had so much storytelling. It feels like to me, if they were to take A New Hope and remake it, I feel like it would be remade in this way where.
But there's no action. There's tons of action in New Hope.
That's true.
It was what was it? Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Did you seen that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It was literally just, it's one of those like mysticky sci-fis where nothing
You're
happens. and it's
slogging
like a
through a
drama.
story that if you are invested in that universe, you're all about it. And if you're not, you're like,
It's like me going to you and saying, "Hey, Cliff, I wrote a song called God Is on the Move," and it takes 5 years to get to the chorus.
what? Well, I did think this Dune was significantly better than the last Dune. But
Yeah.
anyways,
no. Yeah. So we
Lord of
have
the Rings.
the ingredients for this to be awful is all there, especially because we are in
because of the motivation for the purchase,
mo-
we need our.
Cliff, the reason Lord of the Rings was so good and The Hobbit even had somewhat of an emotional core is because you have one guy at the center of it trying to make it. The reason The Hobbit was terrible, I don't know if you've like researched it, but it's because the studio started meddling and they told Peter Jackson, you have to have a female in there. You need a love story. And you can see in the extras.
I think on the surface, most people think, and this is interesting you say that, most people think the reason The Hobbit wasn't as good is because they blame it on Peter Jackson, probably assuming that he wanted to milk this cow and stretch out this story that did not need to be stretched out that long. But it wasn't. You're saying it wasn't him as the studio.
No, the studio said we need 3 films. Harvey Weinstein owned a lot of the stuff. So in order to make their money back, they had to do 3 films where Peter Jackson was like, we want to do 2.
Yeah.
And so you
It's
have
still a stretch in my opinion for The Hobbit.
it was unreal, and it was so bad. And you have Lord of the Rings, and the director of your first episode is the guy who did Jurassic World 2.
So the director of this series,
There's a bunch of different directors. There's no guy in charge that is like, I love Lord of the Rings. I want to bring this. This is Cliff. This is the sequel trilogy.
So you're afraid that it's going to be?
I know
all
it's gonna
signs
be.
are pointing to it's going to be disjointed. It's not going to be story based, story centered. It's going to be
The core of the Lord of the Rings, I'm talking the original trilogy, is friendship and love and care for each other. In our culture, leftists and Hollywood do not understand friendship.
So you're saying Lord of the Rings was good because Peter Jackson was a fan of Tolkien's work,
Yes.
and wanted to tell the story.
Yes.
This is going to be bad because Jeff Bezos is a fan of selling toys and wants to sell toys, and
He's not going to sell toys. They're not going to. They're going to make
wants
it.
to sell Amazon subscriptions or whatever. However, he just wants to try and have his. You're saying he wants to have his Game of Thrones.
He wants to have his Game of Thrones, and this is going to be. Dude, there's no way they can make it without it being woke. Like, I guarantee you, we're going to have a band of orcs that are disenfranchised and just trying to help the good guys.
What about some of the other Amazon series that are really good though? Like
What?
The Boys?
What is that?
The series The Boys, the one about the superheroes, being a superhero is now like a normal thing. People, they've got that guy Homelander who's kind of like the take on Superman.
But to me, it's not about that. It's about what made Fellowship and Two Towers and Return of the King is this theme of friendship. And Hollywood and people on the left, which create all this stuff, do not understand friendship or relationships.
So you're saying if The Boys is really good, which is critically acclaimed, I've watched some of it, and it's a mature audience only, and there's some of it of the material that is not. I mean, it's not like it's not family friendly by any stretch of the imagination, you know. But if you're, you know, for like a rated R type thing, it's a lot of storytelling. It really is storytelling, entertainment based. You're thinking the assumption would be that somebody had a story they wanted to tell, and they started working on The Boys and created a great story. Jeff Bezos doesn't have a story he wants to tell. He just wants another cow to milk.
He's hiring another J.J. Abrams who's going to make The Force Awakens, and he doesn't care about the characters, and it's going to freaking be bad. Dude,
he can't blame it on budget. I mean, Jeff Bezos has the budget to do whatever he wants.
It doesn't matter when the person behind it is a Hollywood left person. This is what I wanted to talk to you about prior. Every theme in our current landscape, there's no friendship in it, dude. It's a bunch of narcissists walking around. Have you noticed that? Everybody is selfish. All the motivations are selfish. The reason I'm not excited is this is not going to be Lord of the Rings. The theme of Lord of the Rings is Gandalf cares for Frodo. Frodo cares for Sam.
It is like a family. They're like a big family.
It's a family.
And you have the weird uncles, and you got the cousins you can't stand, but at the end of the day, you're all family. That's like Gimli and Legolas. They like hate each other at the start, but then they wind up being like the best friends of all time.
Lord of the Rings was not created in Hollywood. It was created on an outside studio in New Zealand, and that's the reason that happened. Hollywood people, and we talk about this all the time, they don't value family. They don't value friendship. They value self. It's all about narcissism, and I'm going to do what's best for me regardless of what anyone else thinks. This is going to be created around that. It's going to be like, look, there's an orc. Oh, there's a troll. Ooh, it's a castle. Ching, ching, sword fighting. It's not going to be, let me give you a premise, Isildur and his brother and their relationship and trying to be there for each other, and his brother's going to the ring and he's sad about that and he wants to save his brother. It's not going to be that. Leftists, they don't know how to do that. Hollywood does not know how to do that. They don't understand it.
Do you think the eventual end... And correct me if I'm wrong on the lore, because it's been a while since I've read the books or watched it. But like, so they go to battle after having all of the rings, right? That's when Isildur gets the one ring, right?
This is the prologue. They're telling the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring. That's what this is.
It's going to end with Isildur in that battle?
I would assume what they would maybe do, if they're smart, is to have some giant battle right before that, and the end scene is, all right, we're going to go take them in Mordor, and we've aligned all the audiences.
See, I think the end of the entire series would be that final scene that was kind of like the initial scenes of the original Lord of the Rings. You remember where he says, they show that whole battle, and they show him out hanging over, and he goes, no, he won't destroy it. And you have, what's this guy, I can't remember his name, the actor, Elrond, he's like, destroy it, put it
Why
away.
would you remake that, though?
But I think, but do you think that would be I think for nostalgic, I think they probably would make that the final scene of the entire season, entire show.
This is going to be... The only reason Lord of the Rings is good is because of those. You watch it and you feel like here's a bunch of people that love each other and care for each other. When you watch the sequel trilogy, what do you think about Rey and Finn and Poe? I think about a bunch of narcissists in Hollywood that only care about each other, and they're trying to write what they think friendship is.
I think about like you got a...
Sorry.
I think about like you've got a bunch of middle schoolers who are like, who's dating who? When I think about that show, they're like, ooh, is Rey gonna wind up with Finn, or is Finn gonna wind up with Poe, or is Rey gonna wind up with Kylo?
I don't know if you've been in a lot of the circles.
Is it all about relationship status?
Everything, but it's like 14-year-olds talking about, does he like who? But they don't say it like that. They'll use the F-bomb and be like, are they that person? It is all.
So you're talking about the storytelling, even in the.
This is the trailer's fine. Howard Shore is the only person I'm excited about. That he's the only person
I was
coming
going to say
back.
maybe we should talk about everything we talked. Nothing to do with the trailer.
No,
really.
it's gonna look Cliff. Here's the deal. It's gonna be like The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens was hardly any CGI because of the prequels. This is going to be a total reaction to The Hobbit. Everything is going to be real. It's going to look beautiful, and it will be soulless. I promise you. I will give you my record deal if I get one. If it's not, if it's great.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm not going to be wrong, but I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong. We always wind up like this. I always wind up hopeful. I hope you're wrong on it. The world is obsessed with wokeness right now. It is. That is true.
What's to me the core of wokeness is narcissism and trying to feel like you're better than everyone else, and that's who the people creating this show is. That
well, and there's the negative thing about wokeness that I don't like, because we're trying to be like we're believers, and I want this to be hopeful and fun.
Sorry,
no, it's fine. I'm sorry, I'm smacking some lip smacking going on because I got this Ricola in my mouth hole. It's doing some wonders.
Yep.
Anyways, the thing that I find negative about the wokeness is that it starts trying right. We're processing people by ethnicities and victimhood and all this kind of stuff, and like uplifting minorities. That's I have no problem with uplifting minorities and trying to put everybody on equal footing. I have no problem with that.
That's not the core of it, though.
But what I do find to be super negative, and that's where I find I have no place for the wokeness in what I'm about, is because I saw you sent me a screenshot of this gentleman, a guy that you follow, was basically saying that
a guy that I follow who has really depressing posts. He's probably suicidal. He's got problems. He's a great, nice, empathetic dude. Super far left. All of his friends are super far left. They would actively say they would want to murder Donald Trump in the worst ways.
Man,
that's the kind of people there. But
joy and hope here at.
This is an empathetic dude that's like a nice dude, and he posted a status of what's a man supposed to be in 2022, and what value does a man have?
What value does a man have in 2022?
This girl posted that white or straight men have no value, and they should dedicate themselves to making other straight men better. And then LGBTQ people, straight people, everybody railed against this girl, and then she came back and she was like, "I'm so sorry. That was very ignorant of me to say." And I was like, "Huh."
See, well, and so that's the thing.
Blew my mind.
One of the products of this wokeness to me sometimes is that toxicity against the non-minority, the toxicity against
it's reverse racism
that can generate feelings and emotions and ideas to a point where somebody. It's good that she backtracked and apologized, but it can tender these feelings, emotions that create a response. A straight male's got no value in 2022. It's like, gosh.
And I commented, I was like, this is a dude that is struggling with so many things, and you just told him that he has no value. If this dude ends his life, that's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
And what they would say, but she took responsibility. I could not believe it.
And she apologized.
That goes
awesome.
against, dude, my grain of a leftist is like no empathy. They cannot accept responsibility for anything, and they are just acting totally out of their damaged self. She totally proved me wrong there, and I was like, wow.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is the byproduct sometimes of the wokeness is this hatefulness towards people that don't require the wokeness, the non-minority. Yeah. And that's something I don't want that. I don't want that hate. There's enough hate. I'm sick of the hate. I don't want that. I don't want to come near that with my art, with what we do. It's all going to be hopeful, and I'm sick and tired. That stuff is why I have this like sort of my guard up for wokeness in my entertainment, because I wonder how many times am I going to be sitting there saying like, man, I don't know, that messaging, that irritates me. Like, it's a negative message I don't want, with some of these toxic byproducts.
At the end of the Fellowship, everything's kind of falling apart, and then Gimli says, "It's over, the fellowship has failed," and Aragorn looks at him and he says, "Not if we hold true to each other." That is not going to happen in this show, dude. Because people on the left in this Hollywood crowd, they don't have friends. They only have opportunities to build their narcissism up. Those are the people running this show. It's not going to be about friendship. It's not going to be about... Like, if you look at Game of Thrones, was almost that. The only friendship thing we had was Sam and... How did I forget his name already?
Frodo?
Jon Snow. Sam and Jon Snow.
You're talking about Game of Thrones.
Everyone else does not freaking care about
You
it.
said Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Game
Sam
of
and Frodo?
Game of Thrones. And everybody loved that. And for some reason, dude, I realized that too. I watched Lord of the Rings 4 days ago, and I just had that realization that this is a film all about friendship. And my movie was based... Now, tons of problems, but it was all about friendship.
Yeah.
And these people that care about each other. And I tried to put that into my film, not even realizing it. And I know when I watch Amazon Prime, this is going to be all plot. It's going to be all, this is going to happen. Because these people do not understand. Cliff, I would not try to write a film about a married couple who'd been married for 20 years because I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
These Hollywood people, they do not understand friendship or relationships. Only opportunities, and that's what this show is. It doesn't matter. It's going to look great. It's going to be Force Awakens. It's going to look great. It's going to be flashy. The marketing is going to be on point. The trailer is going to be awesome, but you're going to watch it, and it's going to be about a bunch of...
It's going to be all kinds of new toys.
It's going to be about a bunch of selfish people trying to overcome things because our culture is so narcissistic without Jesus, and that's why we need Jesus.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you think. This is a lot of analysis for 60 seconds of no visuals other than the
we didn't even talk about it. What do you talk about? It's a cool trailer.
The name of the show was it
The Rings of Power.
The Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. On Amazon. Do we know the release date? It's coming soon.
No, it's September.
September. So it's coming later this year.
Yep.
We will cover any more of the trailers that come out. If you agree with us, let us know. If you disagree with us, let us know and let us know why. Please try to make your comments family friendly. I'm not trying to be the F-bomb police, but I will shush you, and we will shush you.
We'll go to your house
very aggressively with a finger wagging shush. And let us know what you think. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Keep your eye out for Man of God, the book, on Amazon. The link is in the description. You can order that book in paperback or digital copy. Check out Rock for Jesus, Joel's movie.
Wait, do that promo. Do the Rock for Jesus promo in the Benjamin voice. Keep all this in.
Okay, keep all this in?
Yep, keep it all in.
All right, so yeah. All right, y'all. So Benjamin Langford here. Just trying to let y'all know that big things are coming, 2022, and we're hoping that you check out Man of God. It's a book on Amazon. You can get there. It's a link down there. You just click on one of them links. It gets you the paperback or the softback. That's what I call digital. And so yeah, get you a paperback, get you a softback. Check out Rock for Jesus. It's where my buddy Joel here tries to do his best impression of me and go out there and just rock the world for the Lord. And yeah, stay frosty, keep being awesome. That's how the good Lord made you. Shucks darn it.